Hi, my name is Bethany Seidella, a member of the Patent AEDY team. This video will provide you with information on creating and uploading your MTSS action plan to your AEDY application. An MTSS framework is required for all AEDY programs. This means that all programs must implement a multi-tiered system of support utilizing evidence-based positive behavior supports. As with all MTSS models, all students must have access to universal positive supports prior to implementing more intensive interventions. All students and staff should have a clear understanding of these universal supports. Please go to our AEDY website under the AEDY Guidelines, Section 4, under Program Requirements for more information. MTSS is an ongoing process, whereas we are in a constant cycle of planning, implementing, and assessing. In order to capture this process, all AEDY programs are required to upload an action plan in their application. The AEDY program must update their action plan each application cycle, and it needs to cover the timeline from approval until application expiration. So, for private programs, the action plan should cover the 3-year cycle, and for in-house programs, it is to cover the 2-year cycle. You may also be asked to make adjustments to your MTSS action plan based on feedback you receive during your cyclical monitoring. Consider your tiered supports as you create your action plan. Tier 1 supports should always include a behavior matrix, acknowledgement systems, data collection systems, and teams for data analysis. In order for students to make progress towards their goals in the Formal Periodic Review, or FPR, they must first have access to a strong, foundational, or Tier 1 system. Then, Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports are built into the FPR as needed. AEDY teams will want to consider their program needs as they create their action plans. These needs should be based on data. This may include discipline referrals. Take a careful look at the times of day, location, and other available information you have available to guide your planning. Reasons for placement. If most of your referrals are for a specific reason, you may want to consider a Tier 1 intervention to address it. Attendance information. Look for ways to ensure students have access to the curriculum and interventions. Surveys with information from staff, students, and families. Use information from all your stakeholders to understand their perceptions. PBIS.org has a free school climate survey available to utilize. Percentage of students reaching goals. Use the information on your student successes to collect data on what is working for students in your program. Incentives. Look to dive into how your students are being positively supported. And perhaps you have other information that can help to build your action plan. It is important to have a tool to collect this information in order to see where your program needs supports. 3 to consider are the Benchmark of Quality, or BOQ, the School-Wide Tiered Fidelity Inventory, or SWTFI, and the Facility-Wide Tiered Fidelity Inventory, or FWTFI. They are available on pbis.org under Tools, then Assessments. Please also check out our AEDY website under Assessing MTSS Systems. If you are currently implementing PBIS in the network with the support of your IU, you have access to these tools with your PBIS coach. If you are utilizing Patent, you can access via pbis.org or the AEDY website. Once you complete your MTSS assessment and review the data, you will create your action plan. The template is shown here and can be accessed via this video or on our website. The action plan must contain 3 items. Number 1, the actionable steps, or what will be done. Number 2, the resources needed to do it, who will train, and what will be needed. And number 3, the timeline to completion. This could be dates or months. Be sure to include years, as the action plan needs to cover the entirety of the application cycle. Again, the action plan will need to cover the entire span of your application. So, for private programs, it will need to cover 3 years, and for in-house programs and IUs, it will cover 2 years. As stated earlier, you may need to make adjustments as part of the monitoring process. We also realize that with any SMART action planning, after conducting an assessment such as a tiered fidelity inventory after year 1, you may want to make adjustments to your action plan, and we would encourage your team to do so. But for the application purposes, we need a long-term outline. When you make adjustments, you can upload your revised action plan to Leader Services at any time. To upload your action plan via Leader Services, you will go into your application and navigate to Program Sites. Then you will click Edit Application Details. You can use the tabs on the left to navigate to the Positive Behavior Supports page. Then you will upload the plan under Evidence-Based Tiered Prevention and Intervention Non-Exclusionary Behavior Framework. Directly underneath that section, you will upload a copy of the data reporting process and platform. This should include information on how, when, and by whom student data is gathered and how this data is processed. This could include points sheets, check-in, check-out data reports, Swiss data system, or other data collection tool. This information may already be in your action plan, and if so, you can upload your action plan again in this area. You will also upload a copy of the MTSS evaluation plan directly below. This plan reflects how your program assesses MTSS implementation. This will most likely be your school-wide tiered fidelity inventory or facility-wide tiered fidelity inventory, your BOQ, or other source of data collection, such as a school climate survey. Make sure to save your changes. Again, if this information is already in your action plan, feel free to upload the action plan again in this area. Thank you for viewing our action plan tutorial. For additional supports in MTSS or action planning, please reach out to your AEDY point of contact. If you are not sure who your point of contact is, please email aedy@patten.net.